Let's talk about Reasonable Doubt Season 3, Episode 3, titled Run This Town. The knock at the door is Jax's father, who we did not see last season. He has been for the past 8 years, so that is just like a deadbeat to just knock on your door after 8 years. Don't call nothing, just show up and expect to come in. And that's exactly what he did. Her father is played by the actor Richard Brooks, who also played Patrick on Being Mary Jane. He was an addict on that show, so a lot of his dialogue was the same as on Being Mary Jane. I felt like I was still watching Patrick. This is Jax's father. Do not remember his name. If you do, drop it down below. He just comes in. She really wasn't sure whether or not she wanted to let him in. Shout out to Lewis, because sometimes he do really be standing 10 toes down for Jax. The way he was looking at Jax's father like this, no respect, no handshake, no nothing, no real acknowledgement. Just the only reason why you have stepped into my front door is because Jax let you. We did not see Jax's father last season, but we did hear about him. The one time she was supposed to meet up with him, her mother intercepted the visit and told her he's just gonna break your heart. Okay, so Jax is debriefed to the partners and the other lawyers at the firm about the status of Ozzy's case. Ozzy is causing all kind of issues. We get a montage while the song of the episode is playing, which is Too Short to Blow the Whistle. First, the judge increases his bail to $5 million, even though he does not have any criminal history. The judge feels like he does have the means and opportunity to flee. His bail is raised to $5 million. Then he gets into it with paparazzi, so he gets put on house arrest. Then Ozzy, I guess he don't understand the house of house arrest, and he decides that that means that he can still roam his gated community. He is under all kind of scrutiny. He's getting a lot of bad press because it looks as if, well, he is entitled and not following very simple rules. So now he is stuck in his house. He cannot leave his house at all, and he is being babysat or looked over by his sister and by Jax's investigator, Daniel. We do find out that Ozzy has a drug issue. Surprise, surprise. He is taking pills being provided for him by his sister. She feels like at least she can get him the quality stuff, but he still ODs. So how did that help? Jax's investigator Daniel has a little crush on Ozzy's sister. I feel that situation's gonna be a little messy because you're just supposed to be over there to look after the client to make sure that he actually stays on house arrest. It's not posting thirst traps on Instagram. He just needs to enjoy being free for the moment, focus on proving his innocence. Jax's daughter Naima, who is friends with Tony's daughter, but they had a little falling out. So she has a new group of friends. We have Karen and Karen Jr. as her friends. They dare her to steal a purse. She steals a purse, they run. She gets arrested, of course. Jax goes off on her because you can't do this. Your two white girlfriends, Karen and Karen Jr., can do this, but you can't do this. How would you handle the situation if your daughter got caught stealing? Luckily, Jax has connections. It's not going to go on her record. They released her into the care of her parents. But I do appreciate all the honest conversations, real dialogue that they provide in Reasonable Doubt, because they are telling her the truth like this. You can't do what your friends do. You have to be smarter because this could have went another way. You would have had this arrest on your record. We get a ambush at lunch by Jax's mother, who is played by Pauletta Washington, Denzel Washington's wife, and they do age her to me on this show, but I guess it goes with the fact that she's playing Jax's mother. Her father shows up and he wants redemption. Now, do you think that he deserves redemption? Has he done enough just by showing back up and apologizing to warrant her forgiveness? Jax's mother actually married the man who was grooming Jax, ignored the fact that her father had an addiction. So it seems like Jax's mother offers forgiveness to men who should not maybe be forgiven and let back in their lives. So I wouldn't trust her judgment. One of the most explosive scenes to me of this episode is another meeting with the partners and the lawyers about what's going on with Ozzy's case. We get Big Karen. Well, her name is Kathy. Well, we're going to call her Big Karen. And then Naima's friends, Karen and Karen Jr. She is so disrespectful to Jax. They want Jax to reveal the secret that Ozzy has a drug addiction and overdose. But Jax is like, I'm keeping my client's secrets. He trusts me. I'm not going to share it with you until the time that I feel like you need to know. And Miss Karen says, well, what makes you think that you could do whatever the fuck you want to do? Ma'am, your name is not on that wall. Jax goes off. Very classy based read. Of course, they send Miss Karen on to HR. She loses her job as she should. Now let's go over to Bill. William, aka Tommy, he has a black wife, but they're not together. And we see that this episode he is following his wife calling her, she's hanging up, and then when he actually does get a chance to talk to her, she speeds off and closes the door. He doesn't get to talk to her. He doesn't even get to see his kids. So he's hiding something as well, while fronting that he has a happy black wife at home and 2 kids. Plus, he's just shady. And they're playing up his shadiness in this character. The partners to them go to Bill, which I thought is so disrespectful. Says that Jax is difficult. She's a headache. Actually call her a bitch. So you're telling this to an associate about a partner. Just they convince him to get close to Jax and to snitch. Jax actually tells him that Ozzy OD'd. So do you think that he's going to go back and relay that to the partners? Is he going to play into his snitch role? Another good scene. Naima is talking to Lewis. She's in trouble for having trying to steal the purse. He forces her to go to work with him. I was like, this is so black coded. No, you get in trouble, you don't get to lay in your bed all day, get dressed, you finna go down to work with me. It's bring your felon daughter to work day. And she says, I'm not friends with Tony's daughter anymore because she told me this crazy story that you slept with her mom and that she had a baby, that she lost the baby, and I just can't deal with liars. And Lewis is sitting there like, but that happened. So, do you think that they need to tell the kids about the baby, and do you think they're going to get a chance to tell the kids about the baby before they find out on their own that story is actually true? The episode ends with us coming to the conclusion that Ozzy's drug dealer must be his alibi for the night that Wendy went missing. We see a call between Ozzy and his drug dealer, and the drug dealer's like, nah, bro, I'm not going to be able to help you out. Let me know what you thought about the episode. I rated it a 7 out of 10. Until next time.